Tax Resolution Ninja Show, where we feature the top experts on all things tax to help you understand, navigate, and resolve all your tax-related issues. Now, let's get started with the show.
Allan Rolnick here. I'm the host of the Tax Resolution Ninja Show, where I feature top leaders who will help people with major life events like divorce, health issues, losing a job, and many, many more. I have Dr. Jeremy Wise here, who has done thousands of interviews with successful leaders and CEOs. And we have flipped the script, and he will be interviewing me for a change.
Thank you. I totally appreciate you having me. And we're going to talk about, there's entrepreneurs, there's restaurant owners, there's all sorts of people. And to keep all this stuff straight is sometimes tough. So we're going to talk about a specific case about a restaurant owner. But before I grill you on questions on what we should do not to get caught up with the IRS, the episode is brought to you by Tristate Tax Resolution.com. So basically, Allan, you've been doing this for like over 39 years. So when the IRS comes knocking, people phone you up and say, hey, the IRS wants my house. They want my car. They want everything I own, probably. And you help them get out of those situations, those predicaments, I guess. So they may have tons of back taxes, and maybe because of a medical situation, they lost their job, a divorce, or something else like that. So if you have questions about if the IRS comes knocking, I guess call Allan. That's what your new tagline should be. Allan, the IRS comes knocking, call Allan. And go to TristateTaxResolution.com. So you had a restaurant owner come to you, Allan. What were they experiencing?
Man owns like 3 restaurants. And I guess he decided that he didn't want them anymore or whatever. And he goes to sell them. Sticks his hand in his pocket. Takes out his hand, shakes the hand of the other guy.
It's a handshake deal.
A handshake deal. They make a deal. No paperwork. No contract. No. We don't know how money got exchanged. It's all up in the air. Nobody knows anything.
Was it a previous someone who worked for him, or just No, it wasn't. Okay.
It's a group of people. Somebody from a group of people.
Got it.
Apparently approached them.
Sounds risky.
Well, you don't have any paperwork. What are you going to do? And this is not an IRS problem. This is a New York State sales tax problem.
Right.
Apparently, they either did not file the sales tax returns for the next three quarters, or they filed them and didn't pay them. I can't get a straight story.
The next group didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
In the meantime, they had his company ID, and his name was never taken off the bank account, and his name was never taken off the business. Sales tax comes along, tries to collect the money from the restaurant, and they can't. In New York, the owners become personally liable for the sales tax.
Wow.
So they keep trying, the Department of Taxation keeps trying to get the money. Finally, they put a lien on him. They put a lien on the business, which by this time no longer exists.
They had to shut it down.
Well, they didn't have to shut. They shut it down. They walked away. They walked away from it. And he's stuck with the whole liability. It was like $300,000.
Wow.
So in the meantime, we're still trying to negotiate this with the state, because we're trying to get some paperwork done, out of them, and it's not coming by so fast.
What is the best way to negotiate with the state?
Best way to negotiate with the state is to come clean, because if they find out, if they think you're trying to avoid them, they'll just
make your life terrible.
Make your life miserable. They'll go after everything you got, and you certainly will not be able to open up another business. At least not in New York. Whether you try other things, that's up to you. But what also happens then is that not only do you have a sales tax problem, they go looking for personal income taxes at this point. And they'll find out that he probably has not filed his personal income taxes.
Mm.
So that means it's, you gotta find out, you gotta recreate the income because there are no records. Absolutely nothing's written down on paper.
Wow.
So it becomes a total mess. It is a total mess.
How do you reduce the liability?
Well, at this point, we're going to have to estimate his income from the restaurant, and there became a point that we might be able to show that he what his last date of ownership was. And so that'll reduce some of it. Beyond that, it's a negotiation game.
Mm.
We try to come up with a reasonable estimate. The state will come up with what they think it is, and somewhere in between, that's where it'll fall.
I want to talk about some of the lessons and mistakes in this scenario. Okay. What are some of the lessons you took out of it, or mistakes that you should tell people to avoid?
You need to, first of all, have a written document saying that you sold the assets of the restaurant. You did not sell the company, because I'm thinking on the other end, you don't want to buy the company because you don't know what kind of problems you're gonna inherit. So
Right.
You want to sell the assets. Make sure that your name is taken off the, that they shows that your name is no longer associated with that particular establishment. You also need to go through what they call a bulk sale tax return. Bulk sale sales tax, which means there's a tax on whatever assets you're transferring over to the new company, and just make sure everything's in writing.
I mean, it's probably more common than we would think.
Don't screw around with the sales tax.
Yeah, I mean, don't screw around with sales tax. Yeah. It's probably more common than we think, even if it's not selling it, but maybe like a business partnership with people and they don't have paperwork between each other. Also, that probably happens commonly.
It happens a lot. There's no paperwork between the two partners or how many partners there are. And, it becomes a problem when it comes time to liquidate the partnership.
What else should, if you're, there's a restaurant owner or entrepreneur out there, regards to sales tax, what other lessons do you want to impart, or is there any other mistakes people should be on the watch out for?
Just keep good records. Make sure you have good records. That's easy. If there's a problem, it's easy to solve if the records are clean.
Check out that other episodes from Allan, because he is the expert. He's been doing this for decades and decades and decades. If you have questions or you want to contact them, you could email them at tristatetaxresolution.com. Allan, thanks for having me as your guest.
Thank you for interviewing me and reversing roles.
Thanks for listening to the Tax Resolution Ninja Show. Be sure to click subscribe to get updates on our latest episodes.